So you're living in Woodstock with your dog, which is just fantastic, but trying to find the right trainer, that can feel like a bit of a maze. No worries though. We're going to cut through all that confusion and give you a really clear, practical guide to finding the perfect training partner for you and your dog. Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with how training fits into our specific Woodstock lifestyle. Then we'll look at the different kinds of programs available to you. After that, we'll talk about how to find a genuinely qualified pro, what you absolutely need to ask them, and we'll finish up with the local rules and resources you should know about. All right, first up, let's think about this a little differently. This isn't just about teaching sit and stay. Good training is really about getting your dog ready to be a happy, comfortable part of our community here in Woodstock, so you can both get out and enjoy it. I mean, just picture it, walking through a busy downtown event without your dog yanking your arm off, or hiking a trail and knowing for sure that they'll come right back when you call. That's the kind of freedom we're talking about. You know, when you think about it, all those things we love to do around here require some specific skills. You need solid loose leash walking to handle a crowd downtown. You need a reliable recall for safety on the trails, and you need a dog who can just chill out while you're enjoying a drink at a great dog-friendly spot like Reformation Brewery. So, now that we know why we're training, let's get into the how. A huge part of this is picking the right kind of program, and that really starts with understanding the different methods and setups that are out there. Okay, this is really the heart of it. Modern, effective, and humane training is all about positive reinforcement. What that means is, instead of punishing bad behavior, we're rewarding our dogs for making good choices. It builds this incredible bond and actually makes your dog want to work with you. You've also got a few different ways to learn. Group classes, they're fantastic for general manners and for learning to listen when other dogs are around. Private lessons are perfect if you're dealing with something specific, like barking, or if you're just starting out with a new puppy. Then you have board and train, which can be a great way to get a really intensive head start on training. All right, you've got a sense of the program types. Now for the big one, finding the right person. The truth is, the quality of trainers can be all over the place, so you got to know what to look for. Here's a huge tip. Since Georgia doesn't actually have a state license for dog trainers, certifications are your best guide. If you see letters like CPDTKA or KPA-CTP after a trainer's name, that's a really good sign. It shows they're committed to modern, science-based, and humane methods. Okay, you've narrowed it down to a few potential trainers. Now it's time for a consultation. Think of this as your chance to interview them, to make sure they're the right fit for your dog, your goals, and, of course, your budget. Just to give you a ballpark idea, a single 1-hour private lesson around here usually costs somewhere in this range. It's a good number to have in the back of your mind as you start looking at the different options. As you can see, the costs really depend on what you need. A 6-week group class is a totally different kind of investment from a multi-week board and train. One thing to look out for, though, is that private lesson packages often give you a better value in the long run. So, when you have that consultation, here's your checklist. You absolutely have to ask about their training philosophy. Make sure it's positive. Ask about those certifications we mentioned. Be super clear about what you want to achieve, and then listen to their plan for you. And before you sign anything, get all the costs and policies in writing. And finally, let's wrap this up by talking about being a great dog owner right here in Woodstock. That means knowing the local rules and, just as important, knowing all the great spots where you can go practice what you're learning. See, this is where that training really pays off in your daily life. A well-trained dog makes following the local leash law simple. Good training can also help you manage any nuisance barking, which keeps the whole neighborhood happy. And just a quick reminder, that rabies tag needs to be on their collar at all times. It's the law. And you know the best part? We have some amazing places to practice right here in our backyard. You can head to Woodstock Park to safely work on recalls, or go to JJBLO to practice leash skills around other people. Want a real challenge? Old Rope Mill Park is perfect for practicing focus in a high distraction area. We're pretty lucky to have these spots. At the end of the day, putting in the effort to train your dog is really about making your shared life here in Woodstock that much better. A well-behaved dog makes every one of those walks downtown, every hike on the trails, and just every day in your neighborhood more relaxed and fun for you and for everyone else. Happy training!